Well, good afternoon all at the Grey Cats. Sorry that I can't be there for the season launch for 2018, and my guest couldn't get there either, but he's been kind enough to do a video. So can you all please welcome Footscray great Dougie Hawkins. So welcome, Doug.
Thank you, Tony.
And it's fantastic that you've agreed to give us a few minutes out of your busy schedule, just so that we can share a few thoughts about what's going on with Doug Hawkins nowadays after footy. So down there, if the systems work properly, our MC Kevin Costa would have shared a few tips about your previous illustrious history at the Bulldogs, and we've also got an ambassador who you probably recall from Geelong football days. Tim Bluey McGrath is our ambassador. So good afternoon, Kevin and Bluey, and let's get stuck into you, Doug. So first question is, or first comment is, of recent times you've become a granddad. So tell us a bit about the lads.
Well, Tony, it's amazing. They're both now 2 years of age and 10 days apart. Our oldest daughter, Leah, who's now 28, I think 28.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that, Tony. So she gave birth, and then 10 days later, our daughter, Tony, gave birth as well. So to be a granddad, I think it means you're getting old, I reckon.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like the great, a couple of silver foxes here. And tell us about the great E.J. Whitten. Your name and Ted's name are very synonymous with the Bulldogs, and I particularly remember seeing that scene of the two of you running out from the race at the Western Oval and flicking the footy to each other. I think it was when you did your 21st game.
Record,
yeah. So tell us a bit about E.J.
Oh, well, Tony was the best. I mean, he worked at K-Rock as well in Geelong. He was just something that, it's just so special. He was like a father figure to me. For me to break his record was something that I'll remember forever. Again, footy's about and sport's about playing in finals, but that was Dougie Hawkins' grand final. I'll never ever forget it. It was just absolutely amazing. Had the great man there. He was working, as I said, for K-Rock too on that day. And it was against Geelong.
Really?
Who we couldn't beat, and Bluey McGrath know this. Bluey would have played in that game, I reckon, in '92. There's no doubt he would have played in that. We hadn't been able to beat Geelong, but that day, I think if we played Victoria or we played the All-Stars, I think we would have won because the boys were pumped. We were all pumped. The crowd was absolutely pumped for it. So, and again, Tony, EJ's now been gone 23 years.
My God.
Passed away in '95. And that lap of honour against South Australia, it was like it was like yesterday, wasn't it? It was like yesterday. Yeah. And that was something that I'll remember about the great man himself, to get out of his sick bed, to go and say goodbye to the people, not just Victoria, people of Australia. Just shows how much he just loved our great game. He kept the Big V alive. He was the best.
Yeah. Speaking about grand finals, I had the privilege last year seeing somebody whose initials are Ricky Hawkins play in the grand final. And you might share your emotions of that day, because I do recall also taking a lovely photo of the older Hawk giving the young Hawk a hug. So tell us about seeing your son win the grand final.
Tony, it was special. It really was special for the young fella. Ricky's now 23. Juvenile diabetes at the age of 4, so he's insulin dependent. He left back a smash. He had trouble getting a game in their seniors. Went to Darley under Heath Scotland, ex-Collingwood Carlton, and a good friend of our families. And he thought that he'd get a game at Darley in their seniors, and he struggled because they got very good on balls as well. But at the end of the day, he played in a winning grand final for Darley against Bacchus Marsh. So he's playing against all of his old mates that he grew up and played footy with. So for him to win that grand final is really special. He said to me after the game, he said, "Now, Dad, how many grand finals did you win in your senior career?" I said, "Son, none." He said, "Dad, I got you. I got one, you got none."
I would have thought young Ricky could have been a bit more diplomatic than that.
No, he nailed me, Tony. He nailed me. He wasn't going to let me go in that because of all the stuff that he's copped over his life. You know, being
son of Doug.
Yeah, son of Dougie. And so he's copped a fair bit of flack over his life, and he came back and gave me that backhander. So it was a good little backhander, and I copped it.
And I thought, he's a great kid. It's been a pleasure to meet him of recent years, and credit to you and Raylene for how you've brought him up, as well as the girls. Now, Sons of the West program, that's something that you've been a patron of, or you want to just give a brief mention about your involvement with the Sons of the West and your thoughts on that?
Well, Tony, it was mainly about 4 or 5 years ago now. The Western Bulldogs had this idea, the Sons of the West program. It started in, I think, in Melton, might have been in Werribee, Footscray area, but it's absolutely grown right out now. So it was mainly based about helping blokes with probably life in general,
yep.
maybe particularly with eating habits,
yep.
smoking, drinking,
yep.
punting,
marriage
issues, mental health issues, and that caused mental problems, all those issues. So to watch blokes just come in and say, Dougie, I have 3 smokes now, not a pack a day. I don't go to the TOB only once on a Saturday, not every day or every second day.
Yep.
Just watch these guys get better and improve in life in general. And as you know, Tony, that makes life better at home.
Absolutely.
If their life is better outside of the family home, it becomes better at home as well. And the wife will be happier, family's happier. So the program for the Western Bulldogs has been an absolute winner.
Yeah, I believe it'd be fantastic if we get the Pussycats to do a similar program, but we'll keep that one, working on that one. Now, finally, just to wrap up, because I know you've got to hit the highway to Horsham this morning, so any favourite story you might just want to end up with?
I suppose when you, I sort of look back, footy trips are fantastic, Tony, but I'm not going to do a footy trip.
Probably not appropriate.
Not appropriate. It really was amazing because when I say favourite footy story, my junior footy was my favourite time of playing footy. Is that hard to believe?
No, less pressure.
Less pressure, and we won grand finals. I mean, our Braybrook, I played there for 8 years. We played in 7 grand finals and we won 6 flags. So as a junior, I was actually spoiled. Brian Wilson played, who won a Brownlow medal at Melbourne in '82. Okay, Robbie Gronewagen played 90 games. And I just think coaching back at Smash under 16s when the young boy Nathan Prince collapsed and ended up passing away. Two weeks later. And for that young group to go and win a grand final against North Ballarat, that really sits at the highest part of my footy career.
Excellent.
And Liam Duggan, who got recruited out at now plays at West Coast Eagles. Yep. Kid called Dylan Bojo Rainbow was at Carlton, now played at Port Melbourne, and they're winning VFL Grand Final last year. And a boy called Brenton Payne, who's the grandson of Charlie Payne, who played at Essendon back in the 60s. Yep. He's now playing in Southport. So there's 3 or 4 other kids that could have easily made it.
Yep.
But chose not to go down there for whatever reason it may have been.
Yeah, cool. All right, Doug, well, many thanks for giving us a little bit of an insight into life after AFL football, and keep up the good work with what you're doing at the grassroots. All the best, mate.
Thanks, Tony. Good on you, mate. Cheers.